Hi, my name is Jeff Schiller, and I love backyard living. And I thought it would be great to travel around London and see how other Londoners enjoy their backyard space. I hope you'll join us. Wow, this looks amazing. Dave!
Jeff, how you doing today?
Good. This looks incredible.
Yeah, we really enjoy it back here.
You got a whole bunch of stuff going on. Why don't you come down and show me around?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll be right down.
This looks incredible. I mean, you walk in the backyard. This looks like the backyard for a chef. Somebody's cooked. Someone's doing a lot of cooking back here.
Yeah, we really enjoy cooking back here.
Yeah.
It's kind of turned into a little bit of a hobby / passion.
There you go. You get a bunch of people over. There's lots going on up here, and I'm anxious to get up there. But as I look around the yard, I'm sure there's a story about what I see back here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you mind if we go back and take a look?
Yeah, let's go.
All right, let's go check it out. So, Dave, this looks great. Tell me what we got going on back here.
Well, we cleared up from some free space because we had a bunch of trees growing sideways, and we put a new fence in. So since we look at this part from the house, we did a little bit of tree clutter clearing up and kind of opened up a spot for us. So
you got more barbecues going on.
Yeah.
You got, what is this?
Well, this is just a little outdoor sitting / cooking area. We like to keep it simple back here.
What do you barbecue right here?
Well, no barbecue in here. This is a little axe throwing board.
So do we have anything actually cooking right now?
Yeah, we've got some sausages on the smoker, and then we're going to just finish them off on the grill. Probably chop them up as appetizers, serve to the crowd.
Great. Well, if you've got that happening here, I can't wait to see what's going on where you have a whole lineup of barbecues.
Yeah, excellent.
All right, let's head back up the hill.
Sure, sounds good.
Dave, this deck is huge. I know you mentioned you did an extension this year.
Yeah, actually. We had a small deck over there, and then this deck here with a big gap in between, so it was sort of hard to access each side, and we filled in the middle, upgraded the railing with the aluminum railing and the glass system, and a DuraDeck all-weather floor.
I see why you had to extend the deck. You have all these barbecues. Tell me a little bit about what we have going on. I see several different ways of cooking over here.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, here's your Comodo style cookers. This one is the Sapphire brand. It's the extra large, and then there's the Big Green Egg, which is a large, and then the Mini Max.
And what do we have going on over at the end?
That's just kind of our tailgating portable barbecue. If we need a little bit of extra shelf space or somewhere to keep something warm, then we'll bring that into play.
Okay. Well, listen, it's enough about the deck. The yard looks fantastic, but with all these barbecues, let's start cooking some food.
Okay, for sure. Let's go.
All right, Dave, as I said, this is the backyard for cooking. We got lots going on. You were telling me about the menu a little bit earlier, and you have got everything cooking up tonight. So let's start with the chicken wings. Tell me what you have going on here.
Well, basically, we just have the Costco value pack of chicken wings here. They're already split with the tips removed.
I'm going to guess you have your own barbecue rub.
Well, you know what? If you call stealing it from the internet your own, then I do.
So you won't be disclosing any secrets if you tell me a little bit about what's in the rub?
No, I won't. Usually you've got your paprika, some garlic salt, some brown sugar, some white sugar, and then if you want to heat it up a little bit, somebody put some red pepper flakes in it or something like that.
Okay. So should I start sprinkling some on?
Yep, absolutely.
And are we just going to coat them like crazy?
Not too much. There's some salt in there, so we don't want to go overboard.
All right. How's that?
Yeah, well, we'll get a bit more after we mix this in.
Now, everybody's got their own secret to cooking chicken wings. I know you have a couple of different things that you're going to tell us about later.
Yep.
So for now, we're going to put them in these baskets. These go on a rotisserie.
Yeah, exactly.
And then what kind of heat are you cooking over?
We're cooking over open charcoal, and then we'll throw a couple pieces of wood in, either some cherry or some sort of fruit wood, depends on what's available.
Listen, we got a crowd forming. Everybody looks like they're hungry, so let's get them cooking.
All right.
Okay, Dave, we got a lot of things going on, and we're about to put the mac and cheese together right now.
Yep.
You've got a traditional bechamel going on.
Yeah, that's right.
You had mentioned before that you like to mix up 3 or 4 different kinds of Italian cheeses together.
Yeah, exactly. We found a nice blend that just sort of suits everybody's palate and gives a nice rich flavor.
Great. And you've got that all melted up.
Yeah,
and then what do we have in the bag that we're going to add?
This is a little bit of pancetta, just give you a little protein in the meal and a nice little salty bite.
Great. Well, let's put it together.
Alrighty, well, usually we pour this in here. Just give it a good little mix.
All right. I'll be the sous chef. Is there anything I can do to help?
Yeah, actually, while I pour this in, it ends up filling up quite a bit. So
Okay.
I'll pour it in, and then if you don't mind, just stirring it as we go.
Okay.
That way it'll be nicely blended. I'll just give you a bit there, let you get.
I've been known to cook a little bit myself, so here.
Yeah.
All right.
And we like the bow tie pastas because you got a little bit of the crevices in there, so the sauce
Pulls the sauce a little better,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. The sauce
grabs
sticks
onto
in
the
nice.
cheeses. Wow, you got a lot of bechamel going on there.
Oh yeah.
And this is going right onto the barbecue.
Yeah, exactly. Just to give it a nice smoky flavor.
Barbecued mac and cheese.
Yeah.
Love it.
There we go. So we're set up on some indirect heat here. We're looking for around 350, 400 degrees. We want to get that to a nice little bubbly boil, get some crust on it.
350, 400 for about how long?
Yeah, 20 minutes. It's really cooked now, so we're just trying to get a little bit of the smoke flavor
Just getting
in
it all
there.
happy.
Little caramelization. Yeah, we're going to sprinkle a little onion chips on it before we take it off.
Sounds perfect.
We like using the rack, so you can get in there with a pair of
All
oven
right,
mitts.
there's a
get it
method
off.
to all your madness. All right, Dave, we've had these on for about how long now?
Oh, full 2 hours, 2.5 hours.
Full 2 hours. They look great. We're going to take them off, so I'll let you do that.
Yeah, perfect.
So, Dave, a lot of guys will pull the chicken wings off and serve them, but you've
Yeah.
got a trick. You like to take everything up a notch, so tell me what
Yeah.
you're going to do with them now.
Well, what we're going to do is we've got some hot oil going here. We're at about 425 degrees. We're going to put in for a timed 3 minutes and crisp up the skin. A lot of people have trouble getting the skin nice and crispy. When they come off the flame,
And
they're
that's
a
the
little
trick.
rubbery.
So, off the
Yeah.
barbecue, into the hot oil. All right.
There's a few different tricks, but this is the one that works for us.
They look great. You've got some great barbecue sauce. You're going to sauce them up.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, let's do it.
So we'll just get a little bit. We don't want too much. We really enjoy the flavor of the meat and the smoke here, so we just put enough to give it a little third flavor. And then if people want to put a little more sauce on when they're eating them, they can sauce them up.
So these look great, Dave.
Yep.
We'll platter them up. We'll serve them to some of your guests, and we'll
Yeah,
see what everybody
exactly.
thinks. We got some mac and cheese right off the barbecue, some crispy chicken wings. Jump in. And we got to make use of these other barbecues. So what
Exactly.
are we doing next?
Okay, so now we have some boneless beef short ribs.
Okay, and what are we gonna do with these ribs?
Pretty simple. We backpack them just because the package we bought had more than we
So you do all
necessarily
this
need at a
yourself?
time. Yeah.
Naturally.
You want to go through it, which I have already in this case, and take out any of the big obvious pieces of fat,
Okay.
even though it'll render down a bit. So for us, this is just served as an appetizer.
Okay, just about 1 inch size square cubes.
Yeah, enough that you might throw on a toothpick and
Okay.
be able to enjoy a few pieces without having to commit to a whole steak or a big portion. You open up that rub,
Okay.
we'll throw some rub on there.
Want me to sprinkle them on right now?
Yeah. Once again, I'll just mix it up. If you open that teriyaki and then just pour some on.
Okay. More? We good?
Yeah, a little bit more. We'll
bit
just
more?
let it braise down in there.
Okay.
Okay.
And then we're
Okay.
going to put this on the barbecue. We're going to put some tin foil
Yeah.
on top.
Yeah.
And then how long on the barbecue?
Well, they take a couple hours.
A couple hours? At
Yeah.
what temperature?
Well, we're cooking anywhere from 225 to 300, and the big thing is we want the internal temperature of the ribs at about 205.
Okay.
And they've rendered right down, and they're nice and soft.
Yeah, so that's not a lot of beef to be sitting on there for a couple hours. So that's
No.
going to be really tender, fall apart on the fork.
Yeah, that's the idea right there.
Perfect. Well,
Yeah.
let's get it on the barbecue.
Yeah.
All right, Dave, I noticed we're using a lot of rubs on all the different foods we're cooking
Yeah.
today. And I know some of them were store-bought, but I'm guessing
Yeah.
a guy like you likes to make a lot from scratch. We're going to do a pulled pork next, but
Yeah.
you're going to walk us through a little bit about the rub that you're going to use.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
why don't you go ahead and mix this and batch up.
Sure. Okay, well, this one here is available off a popular website. There's half a cup of paprika, 3/4 of a cup of brown sugar, 3/4 of a cup of white sugar, and we've got 1/4 cup of garlic powder. And then we've got some pepper, some ginger, onion, and rosemary. That'll go in. And then we just break up any clumps in there, mix it up.
And we're going to put that on the pork in a few minutes, but
Yeah.
do you use this particular rub on anything else?
Yeah, pretty much any rub we've come across seems fairly universal, and especially on all your white meats, maybe not for steak or something like that.
Okay. Great. Well, we'll get that mixed up. I'll get the pork butt ready. Dave, so we got this pork butt, and I
Yep.
notice you're trimming it up already. So what
Exactly.
exactly are we doing?
Well, really, we're getting rid of the big pieces of fat. As we know, the butchers have to sell meat, and they sell it by pound, so they don't trim it right off the way that you might want to consume it at your house.
But we want to leave some.
A little bit. The bark
Yeah.
actually forms on the meat. The bark doesn't form on the fat,
Oh, okay.
and this surface fat does not really penetrate the meat like people may think it does.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Yeah. So, anyways, we'll just finish that up, and then again, while I've got my gloves on, if you don't mind,
Want me to start putting a
throw
little
the
bit of
dust
the rub on there?
Yep.
Liberally.
Yeah. This one, let it go. This helps form the crust.
I've never worked
the
with
bark.
anybody barbecuing yet who said, don't put so much rub on. They all put more, put more.
Well, we don't like to change the flavor of the meat too much. We really want to taste the meat, and most stuff can be enhanced after you have it on your plate.
And then you're going to put this on the barbecue. What temperature are we going to put it on?
Okay, well, today we're going to put it at 225, and that'll have us counting on, a fairly long cook, like 12 or maybe 12 hours. It's a little bit smaller. But there's a lot of guys going in at 350, 375 now, so you can get it done in 4 hours and you don't have to wait around all day.
Is it going to make a big difference if we cut out those hours, in your opinion?
You know what? I've been experimenting with it, and the flavor profile just seems to be pretty much the same.
Yeah,
So
okay.
Kind of nice to be able to bank on it being ready in 4 hours instead of guessing if it's going to be ready in 10 or 12.
Right, okay.
And 225, it hits a stall at 160, and it can stall for an hour or two.
Yeah.
So that just adds an uncalculatable amount of time to it.
Okay, great. Well, let's get it in.
Yeah.
And of course, you've got a special pan for putting it on the barbecue, because of course you would with all these barbecues.
Yeah, exactly. Well, the other thing with this is that you do have to pay attention to it, because when it comes off, if it's done the way you want it to be done, it's pretty much fall apart.
Yeah.
So it gets really tricky to handle. We like using the rack, so you can get in there with a pair of oven mitts.
There's a
get it
method to all your madness.
Yeah,
Love it.
exactly.
All right, let's get it
All
on the
right.
barbecue. Okay, so we're going to throw this right on the barbecue right now.
Yeah, actually, before you do that, we have another step here that we like to do, and what that is that we'll put some vegetable broth. You might want some chicken broth or something like that. Kind of depends on your flavor profile. And then we'll fill that up with water.
And what do we do that for?
Well, what we do that for is it adds some moisture to the whole chamber as it's cooking, keeps the meat nice and moist. But one of the big things is it sort of acts as a heat barrier, so that the bottom of the pork butt isn't exposed to direct heat for 12 hours, and it'll give you a little more crust on the bottom than you really want.
So we're just
then
going to
I'll
set
throw
the
that
grill on there.
Yeah.
You want this right over the broth?
Yeah,
And I can close it up?
yeah, exactly. She's
Perfect.
ready to go.
And we're going to leave that on there for a few hours, and we're going to head back. And is there any part of your yard that I can't barbecue food in?
Not that I know of. Let me know if you find one.
Dave, I see a bunch of people heading down to where we were earlier.
Yep.
I'm trusting you've got more food cooking down there.
Yeah, we got a couple snacks down there.
Why don't we head down and try it out?
Sounds good.
So Dave, I know we had some sausages I think we're smoking down here.
Yeah, exactly.
So tell me about the setup and what we have happening down here.
Okay, well, this is a little bit of a homemade setup here. We have the can here where we've got the charcoal burning with some cherry wood, and then the natural venting just works out. It draws the smoke through this chamber, and we've got the sausages in there.
All right, well, let's take a look.
So we can take this off here, and then just to finish them off,
So how long have these been smoking now, Dave?
I've probably been smoking 4 hours.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And is there any part of your yard that I can't barbecue food in?
Not that I know of. Let me know if you find one.
So we got a couple different kinds of sausages.
Yep.
And you're finishing them off to get some grill marks, kind of bring up the heat a little bit on them.
Yeah, exactly.
And these are going to take a few more minutes, but we have some that are ready to go.
Yeah, we do. I'll grab a couple.
Let's slice them up.
There we go, yeah.
Everybody's having a blast. I got a feeling everybody's going to be even hungrier shortly. I know we got a lot of food still cooking up top.
We sure do.
Why don't we zip up there, finish up, we'll ring the dinner bell, and we'll feed the group.
Sounds good.
So Dave, we got a lot of things going on the menu today, a lot
Yep.
of great food. One of the things that I'm excited to see you prepare are these chickens. So tell me what you're cooking, what do you call them, and how do we go about preparing them?
Yeah, okay, well, they're called chicken leg lollipops. And I guess that is because when they're done, the bone's really exposed and you eat it with the handle, much like the stick on a lollipop.
Okay.
And then
And is that what they mean by Frenching the bone on that?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, and how do we do that?
Well, usually what we do is take the knife here. We'll cut around. I'm feeling the bone here with the knife. And then
so you want to pull off all that skin. There's some tissue in there you're pulling off.
Exactly, and if you get it the right way, you can get that knuckle to bust just the way you want it. Normally I've got a paper towel in my hand. It keeps it from being a little slipperier. And then we'll take this whole skin off.
Okay. Now I was going to say by taking the skin off, you're taking off all the fat and all the happiness that's going to be in there, but I see you're going to wrap some bacon around it.
Yeah, exactly. And again, it's tricky getting the skin nice and crispy, so we can take it off and then know that we're going to have the flavor of the bacon. We don't need the extra flavor of the skin as well.
Okay. And so this is what we mean by the French cut, and this is how we mean it looks like a lollipop?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Now we're going to wrap that in some bacon?
First of all, if you don't mind, just give me a little shake here. Kind of nice to get a little extra flavor under the meat. Yeah, that's good.
Dust some seasoning on there.
Yeah. And then we use as thin a bacon as you can get for this
Thin
one.
bacon. So
Yeah,
we don't
you don't want thick
okay.
cut. It's
All
hard to wrap, and this
Longer
way
to
here.
cook?
Yeah, longer to cook. It'll take longer to cook than the chicken will take, and it'll still be rubbery. So this way, you've got a nice crispy bacon when you're done.
Okay. And so what are we going to do? We're going to put these in a foil container.
We're just going to put them on the grill right now.
Okay, we're going to put them on there. And how long are we going to put them on for?
We just watch them, but they're usually about 2 hours at 225.
2 hours at 2 1/4.
Yeah.
Great. Well, let's prepare a bunch of them, and we'll get them on the grill.
Okay, sounds good.
So, Dave, we've had these chicken drums with the bacon wrapped on, sitting on the barbecue. We lowered them down to crisp them up, but you've got another step because that's the kind of guy you are, right? So,
Yeah, I found that extra step really makes a difference.
all right. So, what are we going to do? We're going to move these into the pan.
Yep.
And what do we have in the pan?
Got a little bit of chicken broth, and
Should I start putting them right in there?
Yeah, exactly.
So you got some chicken broth.
Yeah.
You got a rack to kind of hold them just above. And
Yeah.
what are we trying to accomplish with that? What are we after here?
Well, what we're trying to do is just kind of give them a little braise. So this will get tented over. We'll put it back, increase the temperature in the barbecue a bit, and just let them steam inside this foil.
And you said that for you, that's an important part of the step.
Yeah, it really makes a difference. Makes it melt in your mouth.
All right. These are, I mean, I'd eat these right now.
Sure, well, maybe we can try one.
They look great. Well, listen, you're the expert. I'm not going to mess with that.
Well, quite often I like to keep one aside just to see how things are going, especially when we got so
if
many.
I forgot that one, you wouldn't be upset?
Yeah, you'd be forgiven for that sin.
All right. What do they call that? The chef's treat?
Exactly.
Or quality control? Or we're just hungry?
Well, one of the important things is that you want to make sure what you're serving people. So I quite often have a couple set aside as samplers.
And we're going to leave this sitting about 350, 400 degrees?
Yeah, for sure, at least that. Okay.
All right.
There we go.
And let's pull that off to the side.
Yep.
And we'll close this up. And let that cool down for a second. Oh, you got the knife ready to go?
That's your half.
Look at that. Cheers.
Cheers to chicken legs.
Dave, we pulled that pork butt off. We had that seasoned up. That cooked fantastic.
Yeah.
What do we do now? We're making pulled pork.
Yeah, that's the pulled pork for sure. Some people like it pulled more than others. We like it a little bit meatier so you can grab chunks of it.
Okay. So what do we have to do?
Well, really right now you have to make sure it's cooled off enough that you can handle it. And a lot of people really like seeing this bark on there. That's usually the part that goes first. And then really you can see the real test of it being done is how easy that bone pulls out.
That popped right out of there in a hurry,
that
that's for
popped
sure.
out. So then now it's just a matter of pulling it apart to however much you, you know, how you like it. Some people will take it apart and chop it.
So that's been out for a couple hours and it's still steaming.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's still quite hot.
It keeps its heat. That's a real mass of meat there.
Yeah. And so you're going to shred that up.
Yeah.
Then we're going to add some barbecue sauce. And I know there's different following on that. Some people like to really sauce it up. Some
here.
not so much. You like to keep yours a little drier?
Yeah, you know what? We think anything that you can add later, if you want to add it, then you go right ahead. But we want to taste the flavor of the meat after spending so much time, preparing the meat.
Exactly. Great. Well, listen, I'll give you a hand. We'll shred this up. We'll sauce it up. We'll get it ready to go. And I think we got a crowd developing. Everybody looks like they're pretty hungry. So
yeah,
what do you say we kind of wrap this up and get everybody some food?
Yeah, exactly. Sounds good.
We pulled everything off the various barbecues we got going on. Let's talk about what we have. We have got food everywhere. We've got a hungry group of people.
Yeah, we sure do.
So we pulled everything off the various barbecues we got going on. Let's talk about what we have.
Okay.
So here we did those bacon wrapped chicken lollipops, I think you call those?
Yeah, bacon wrapped skinless chicken lollipops.
Okay, and are they done? Because I know we've done several things to them already.
Well, every time you do something, it adds another flavor profile. So we're just going to
Just a little bit of barbecue sauce?
Yeah, just enough to give you a sweet little tang.
All right.
We'll be that. It's good.
Great. And then I know we cut up that beef teriyaki, and halfway through the cook, we kind of split it up a little bit, and we added a few things to make it even happier. And let's take a look at that. Boy, that looks tender.
Yeah,
and so this braised in all that sauce and juice we had.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's been on for a good couple hours for sure.
Yeah.
Wow, that looks great. And are we going to do anything left to these?
No, they're ready to go. You know, actually, we got a little bit of garnish over there just beside you, Jeff.
Okay. I'm a little bit sauced up, so I'm going to give that to you.
All right.
And what exactly are we tossing on?
We're just tossing a little bit of chive. Just give it a little sparkle.
And I know a true barbecue guy like you, when we serve this, we're not putting it in pans. This is what it's going on. This is what it cooked in. This is what we're serving in, right?
Exactly.
Awesome. I love it.
Yeah, it gets sort of the presentation from the way it was cooked.
And the pulled pork next, we had that huge pork butt. And did we do anything else to this? I know we pulled it apart. I gave you a hand. We threw it in here. Did you add anything else to it?
Yeah, you know what? On this one we did. We added a little bit of apple juice to give it a little bit of acid, and then really just enough barbecue sauce again for. I know
it's a little on the dry side, but I know that's a real thing. Some people, I agree with you. I like mine a little bit. I want to be able to taste the pork in there.
Oh, exactly. And the thing is, you're welcome to put however much barbecue sauce once you get it in front of you. But this is
a personal taste.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And I have no idea what's over here.
Well, I was afraid we wouldn't have enough food, so I had a little backup plan.
Really?
Yeah. Well, you never know. And, you know, we use a vac packer here, so we can always tidy it up. But are you ready?
I'm ready.
Do you have a noni?
I do.
All right. Well, here you go. Maybe it's her special recipe.
Oh, meatballs. So tell me about what you did here, Dave. This looks incredible.
Yeah, well, this is a really nice meal, and I did want to make them mostly. There's not so much barbecue involved here, but I just came across a recipe that's got a super flavor. There's a mushroom-infused water basin to the tomato sauce. They're all turkey meatballs with some Romano cheese in there, some thick white sliced bread.
All right, that's enough talking. This looks fantastic.
All right.
Only a guy like you would bring meatballs out at the end of this day of food. So I know we got a crowd forming over here. Everybody looks starving, so let's get the food over there.
Awesome, let's go.
Well, I hope everybody's hungry. Dig in. What are you waiting for? Dave, listen, thanks very much for inviting us over to your yard, for taking the time to cook up this amazing pile of food. I have no other way to describe it.
Great.
Your yard is beautiful, the hospitality was fantastic, and I'm looking forward to jumping into that food. So thanks again for the invite.
All right,
appreciate it, bud.
Thanks a lot.
That's
Appreciate
great.
seeing you here.